All right. We are live with the one and only Liam Brennan. Thanks for hopping on and doing this, Liam.
No problem at all, Eric. Thanks for having me on. Excited to jump back on and have a chat.
Yeah, man. I'm always super excited to have you on. So I mean, it's always a fun conversation. You're super knowledgeable in so many areas, but otherwise, just one of the greatest friends probably in subscription that I have that I've never met. So it's kind of a weird thing with everything going on. But it's like you've been on, what is this, like 3-4 times, maybe 5 times? Like I think this might be.
Is it my 5th time, is it?
We've had the Facebook ads episode, your episode. So there's 2 there. The international panel.
Oh yeah.
Was there another one? It's number 4.
I think there's another one as well. I'm pretty sure there was another one. There you go.
Yeah, well, we'll have to crown you with some kind of award there, the 5-time champ. It's like, it was, I don't know if you watch Saturday Night Live. Like they have like the 3 times they get like these awards, 5-time kind of the things you do. Anyways, it's a funny skit, a little bit they do for people that have been there a ton of times. So we'll have to have some kind of like ring or whatever for you. But anyways, thanks for doing this. Really appreciate your time. 4 o'clock in Ireland right now.
Yeah, and we're actually in the middle of a heat wave over here at the minute, out of literally nowhere. It's absolutely sweating outside. So this kind of room that I'm working in at the minute, literally moved into it during lockdown, and we obviously we have our office and stuff, but we haven't gone back. We still all work from home. So I need to do this room up a bit if I'm going to be staying here, because it gets really, really hot.
It's hot, yeah. Well, here it's the opposite. It's like we're recording this, what is it, March 25th? And there's a blizzard outside here. Good old Canada. We have a ton of snow and it's windy and it's cold. I think it's like minus, I don't know, 18 or something for this time of year, which is, not that cold, but still unseasonably cold. So, man, this is getting long in the tooth here. Go away, the weather. It's horrible.
Yeah, it's weird over here. It's usually freezing and raining.
Like around 0?
Yeah, and this week it's just completely changed. It's really, really nice out. So It's good for a change.
Yeah, well, I don't know what's going on, but weird time. This year, it's unpredictable this time of year at best. But anyways, cool. Well, thanks for coming back on. I want to bring you back on because part of it's the YouTube channel, and just I want to bring back guests that I'm not just only comfortable with, but really good guests that I know are gonna like pack a punch for the guests. So no pressure, but we want to just extract as much as we can. So I kind of want to just go in whatever direction it takes us. So first of all, you just kind of wrapped up. As we're recording this, is the course full? Because you're only taking 50 people. A couple of weeks ago, I think you were over 30, and then you said, I saw an email come through this week where there's a few spots left. So.
Yeah, so I think there's a handful of spots left. It's over 40 now anyway, and no matter what happens, it closes on Sunday anyway, because we want to get started with the calls and stuff. So Sunday afternoon, it will be closed.
And that will be on March
27th.
27th,
yeah.
The 27th, it'll be shut down. So what I'll do is actually, when this is done, I'll just maybe quickly post something or a reminder, like 2 days left. It's not going to be a scarcity post of whatever. It's just like, it is what it is. Like, it's closing down. If you're thinking about kind of thing, now's the time. Yeah. So maybe let's just go right there. Liam, the course itself, like, what can people expect? I know, like, by the time this airs, the course will be full-fledged. It'll probably be on call 3, 4, or 5, or 6. But for the next round, if people missed it, which by the time you're watching this or by the time you're listening to this, actually, before you get into that, I'm bad at this because we used to have our ad sets kind of pre-recorded in there. So I'm just going to kind of quickly, before we get into Liam's stuff, which I promise we will get into. First of all, if you want to get all the post-show exclusive content that we put up together, the post-show wrap-ups, the Q&As, some of the cool stuff we do behind the scenes, you need to become a supporter or a member on our Locals community, the Subscription Box Show Locals community. What is Locals? Locals, very simply, is an app you can download. You don't actually need the app. My wife has no room on her iPhone, and I gave her crap for that because she can't download the app. So she doesn't get the full experience, though. So yeah, you download the Locals app. Think Patreon. So it's a place where creators can go create and have some exclusive content for their communities and not be trapped by the Facebook algorithms that don't allow you to show your stuff to your own people. So maybe we'll get into this, Liam, at some point.
Yep.
I've been ranting a lot, so people are probably sick of me ranting about that stuff. But all to say, go to the subscription boxshow.locals.com. There you'll be able to become a member for free, just to kind of try it out, test the waters, see what you like. But then you're probably going to notice that there's a lot of cool stuff you're missing out on. And for as low as $5 a month, you can become a supporter. And just so you know, I don't do this full time. A lot of effort and research and time goes into putting this show together. And if it's something that's helped you or your business, I just appreciate any amount that you want to help with that. So the $5 a month just goes to help to pay our editor, Junar. We want to, get one day maybe some kind of like, subscription box show, Jamie, where I don't know if you're familiar with Joe Rogan. He's got his dude that does the camera work and get better cameras. And maybe like my favorite podcast, the people fly in their guests. So imagine having Liam, we're at a cool studio setting, and having Liam flown over, and we do an in-person thing, and we get to put him in a hotel and give him the right accompaniment that he deserves, and then fly him back out to Ireland. But that's the kind of stuff that the show I'd love to get to one point. I mean, so the more everyone supports the chips in, that's great. And you can become a premium supporter for, I want to say it's $20 a month. I should know that. But even then, you'll get exclusive discounts to programs such as Liam's Subscription Box Experts Academy, Sub Summit. Right now we have a promo for our members where you get 50% off, which is crazy. That's $800 ticket for $400. That extra $400 pays for your flight, essentially, right? Maybe even your hotel if you're flying within the States, my goodness. You also get access to our Ultimate Graphic Design Guide and other cool stuff like that, post-show content, blah, blah, blah. All to say, head over there, check it out. I'd appreciate your support. So, Liam, speaking of programs, which we sort of just touched on, do you want to maybe just touch on it? So people who are watching this now on YouTube or listening to this on their favorite podcast player, they've missed out, they've maybe heard about it, maybe they've never heard about it. So maybe we'll start there. But what's this program all about? I know there's a lot of buzz around it every time it launches. So let's just get right into it.
Yeah. So basically, it's a step-by-step guide explaining exactly what you need to do to actually scale up your subscription box business and to make it a success. So it covers like website optimization, coming up with offers, subscription box metrics to ensure that you're actually profitable, advertising for subscription boxes, how to actually run proper ads, all that stuff that you need to know, because the hardest thing for the majority of people with these businesses is getting customers. That's really the difficult thing that a lot of people face. A lot of people get to a place where they set up the box, they have a lovely box, they have a really nice brand, they have everything nailed down, but they just can't get customers. And you find out very quickly, you have to get customers. Like with any business, you have to be able to generate repeatable, profitable, scalable customers. Otherwise, it's just a struggle to basically get anywhere. So the whole course is centered around that. It's a self-paced video course that you can do in your own time. There's group calls included as well. So we go live on Zoom. Everybody comes on. You can ask me questions around your website, around your ads, any other problems you're having in your business. There's a private group as well, where you can ask anything you want. And I also added a couple of bonuses this time. And one of the bonus is very, very valuable, and people will find it very useful. It's the ultimate subscription box offer creation masterclass. So it goes through literally everything about offers, everything you need to know about creating an offer. This was a standalone product that I was actually going to release separate, but I decided to just include it because it's that valuable, and I know people in the course will really, really find it useful. So yeah, that's pretty much the program, and it closes on Sunday, but it will be open again a couple of times before the end of the year.
Yeah, you go through a couple of times. And I think the reason it's open and closed, it's not to build this like scarcity kind of scare thing. It's because he does 6 live calls. So, these live calls, think of him as, I don't know if you've ever been part of a mastermind. If you're listening to this or watching this, if you've never been part of a mastermind, essentially you have access to a bunch of minds that become one mastermind. That's kind of like the premise behind it. But you also always have a leader in there. Not that the leader is above you or whatever, but in this case, the creator of the program is there and he's answering your questions. So Liam, I mean, Liam's a humble guy, but he's created a multi-million-dollar business. I mean, they create over $2 million in annual revenue, multiple six figures every month in revenue. It's no shortage. And they started off, correct me if I'm wrong, humble beginnings. You guys were a bootstrap company, just you and a couple of buddies, and 20 subscribers a month, I think, for the first 3 months in a row, or something crazy, or 12. Was it 12 or 20?
12. It was 12.
Yeah.
I'll never forget it because it was like, oh, we got 12 this month. And then the next month, it was like, that was really weird. We got another 12 people signed up. I think it went on like that for 3 months. And then we broke through and kind of started figuring things out a bit more. But we started that business from this house, actually, back in 2015 now. We kicked it off and we kind of like, we were thinking about, will we do a gym subscription box or will it be a dog subscription box? And we decided to go with the dog niche. It's been a crazy few years. In certain ways, it only feels like yesterday that we set it up. And in other ways, it feels like about 20 years ago.
Yeah, I mean, it does feel like I can imagine. But I mean, my whole point is that you wrap up so how many years have you been in business now? 5? Is it 6 now or is it 5? Last time we spoke was
2000. We came up with the idea in 2015. First boxes went out in April 2016. So
6 years or whatever. Not quite 6 years.
6 years.
Crazy. But you get that knowledge of 6 years is what my point is with these masterminds. You get to, I hate the word, the pick the brain kind of thing, but that's what you get to do. You get to literally go on a call with Liam and other people that are part of the course and literally ask him anything. Have him go through your site, have him go through your offer, have him go through all the stuff if you have. So it's not a sales pitch for your course. I'm just saying the value in it is more like those 6 calls alone are worth probably the price of entry. The fact you have a program, and maybe what we'll do, since we got this on YouTube, if you're listening to this, head over to YouTube when it's safe to do so. If you're driving, I mean, don't go watch it now, but head over to our YouTube channel. Just search for the Subscription Box Show. Like and subscribe, by the way. I'm bad at this. I should always like and subscribe. Those helps the thing. Hit that bell button. You get the notifications every Tuesday when we launch the new videos that go. Actually, that's not true. We always launch the videos on the Friday, so they have the weekend to watch on YouTube first, and then the podcast goes live on Tuesday. But either way, do you want to do a screen share of your course? What it just looks like?
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be wicked. Let me. I have to allow you here. I'll have to. Whoops! What have I done here? Screen share. Sorry, this is my bad. I always want to go and set it up after that. It's automatic. I don't have to put this in there that people can share their screen. I always forget. Okay, you should be able to share now. So if you're listening to this, I'm just going to kind of like narrate what Liam's showing us here, but as he goes through it, or maybe you can, Liam. I mean, you're the.
Yeah, I can do it. Just 1 second.
I can't imagine. I've thought of putting up courses before, by the way, and I was like, the amount of time and the insanity of work you must have put into these programs is unbelievable, actually. But kudos to you.
The thing about I was kind of lucky because it was when lockdown first kind of kicked in, and I was doing a bit of consulting at the time. It was like I literally don't have any more time to be spending doing consulting because I was like working on my own business all day and then taking calls in the evening time. And there's only kind of so many calls you can take before it just becomes too much. So I was trying to kind of figure out how I could scale that up, and then lockdown came, and this is kind of just a project that grew into a completely different business out of lockdown. But I'm updating the course all the time. Like new information's coming out to me. I'm learning all the time myself. We're trying to surpass 20,000 subscribers this year. So I'm getting new information all the time. And even before the course went live again this time, I added more content to it. So it's constantly evolving and being updated. But I'll share my screen now.
Yeah, let's do it. This will be cool. So he's just sharing the screen right now. So we're going to go through what the course looks like, exactly what you would be getting on your on-demand. And you still get this for a lifetime. So once you pay for it, like this is yours for good.
Yeah. You've lifetime access to all the content. in the modules and stuff. You can log in whenever you want and watch the videos. Like, it won't be taking access away from anyone. So this is pretty much sales page here, and then the modules are here. So we go through module 1, conversion rate optimization, commitment terms, shipping and billing times, improvement social proof. Then we jump into Facebook ads.
And module 2,
installing the pixel, setting up events, learn how to spy on competitors, the feedback score. Then in module 3, we're covering lookalike audiences, building your customer or avatar, videos and images that convert, some design tools, writing copy that converts, and a few other different things about extending the life of your ads. Then in module 4, we've got a complete strategy for running a profitable Facebook campaign. So we focus on creating an offer, the offer presentation, offer rotation, structuring your campaign correctly, analyzing a live campaign, retargeting, and all that kind of stuff. Then in module 5, we kind of focus on CBO campaigns, scaling, and cost cap. Module 6 is a few other different strategies for growing your business. And then module 7, we kind of focus on subscription box metrics, making sure you're actually profitable. Then module 8 is all about like hiring a VA and a virtual assistant to help you with customer service. And then you get a few other bonuses that I added. That's the master class there.
Yeah, the offer.
This was something else I threw in, 50 high converting Facebook ads. So I'm always doing a swipe file every time I'm on Facebook and an ad comes up. I look into it and I go, that's probably an ad that's actually converting really well. So over like a period of time, I collected 50 of them, and it's like, oh, I can actually make that into a product and I can add it into the course. People probably find that helpful.
Yeah.
And then bonus 3 is the ultimate subscription box website template, so you can actually convert subscribers. Now, the thing about that is it's because everybody's on a different platform. People are on Subly, people are on Cratejoy, people are on Shopify, Recharge, right, WordPress, whatever. And it's not like a template that you can just drop in. It's the design elements of the template that you can recreate into your own platform. So you can actually get people signed up. So yeah, that's pretty much it.
So it just shows here like the offer expires soon. It's like worth over $3,000. But you guys always have, excuse me, you guys always have it for just under $1,000, which is still crazy. Like I said, I've joined masterminds for more than that, where it's just literally calls and you're paying like $2,500 a year or that. And that's a cheap mastermind, right? Like, unbelievable.
The thing with me is with offers and stuff, this is a side business for me. This is something that just sort of kind of developed over lockdown. And even with Buster Box and stuff, I always want to give a lot more than it's actually worth. I want to give way more value to people. And like, I want to make the offer so good that it's pretty much a no-brainer to sign up for it. And that's why I include all this stuff. Yeah.
Well, it is a no-brainer, but I mean, I always say like pay now or pay later. Like at some point you're going to either pay with your mistakes or you're going to pay for a program to teach you the right way. And I just like to endorse things that are, being a subscription box show guy, I like to endorse things that work and that people, it's proven, right? I don't know if you can hear that. It's wild, the wind here. It's like, I should show you. It's just unbelievable.
Let's see
what's going on here. It's big.
Jesus, that is crazy. I wish I could have.
We are.
Window. It's completely different.
But say that again. Sorry.
I wish I could. I'll probably break the computer if I do it, but I'd love to be able to lift up my iMac and show you out my window because it's completely different. It's so sunny out there.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, we get a lot of sun here. Actually, it's like I think it's the second most sunniest place in Canada. It's just today is not one of those days, and it's just nasty out there, like brutal. So there you go. There's a course. I didn't want to kind of like it's, and you kind of showed us the sales page, but when you actually go into the modules, right? Like Liam has like, so like each module has like a crazy amount of, like you saw, steps or whatever. And you can kind of like skip and forth. So if you're like a true beginner, go right from the start, right? If you're, setting up the pixel, I'm already done this. I've already done some Facebook ads, but you want to learn more retargeting, you can go to the next model. And what's cool is that Liam has a video and he's talking through it and he screen shares and you kind of see everything that's going on. It's just really well done. So just kudos again. And I'm just a proud affiliate to do that. So if you are ever interested, just reach out to me, and I've got links for that, which also helps the show. So I mean, my goodness, thanks for letting me be an affiliate as always. I really just a proud supporter of what you do. So okay, so
thanks very much. And just for anybody listening, if you are considering joining and you heard it through here, make sure you go through Eric, because he has a link and that supports the show, as he said. And this shows
it's in every show. I've always kept it in every show notes link, actually, because people do kind of will click on it and they'll see that it's not live or it's not up right now. But just know that you can email me, and then we can make sure you get in for the next course. So the next opening one, do you have a date by chance? Because by this will air probably in May sometimes. I can tell you exactly. This will be airing. 1 second here. Actually, let me pull that up. This one will be your episode. Liam Brennan will be May 17th. This is when this one goes live.
Very good.
2 months later.
It will probably go live again in June at some point, or July probably. I'm flying to some summit in June, and I'll probably be busy enough around the start of June. I'll probably be July.
You should sell that. You should sell the program there. Have like a little booth or something. Tell the boys that tell Chris and Paul there, hey, I need a little subscription box academy booth there.
Yeah, it's not a bad idea, but now some summit I'm doing.
It would sell like crazy.
It could work out, but now I'm doing kind of a workshop at some summit, and then I'm taking a holiday. I haven't had a holiday in literally probably about 7 or 8 years at this stage, just working around the clock. So I'm going out with my girlfriend, and we're going to do Disney, we're going to do Universal, and just take a break for a few weeks.
Have you ever been to Universal? It's pretty cool.
Yeah, years ago. I was in Universal and Disney. I love it. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, I was there. Yeah, same thing. I was 21. I remember that because I was legal age to drink, and I had to sneak in drinks for my buddies that were 19 and 20 or whatever. But yeah, it was unbelievable. Like what a trip. But we're getting off tangent. So okay, so talking about Facebook ads. So we're going to keep some of this stuff for the post show wrap up. So the questions, we have specific questions from some of the listeners and some of the people in your group, my group. Yeah. But for now, like, I just want to kind of touch on offers the masterclass. I know I've talked, and doing these interviews, I've always asked them, how are your Facebook ads doing? How is your paid advertising? And some of them are like, it's still crap. We still haven't figured it out. And others are like, it seems like everyone who's figured it out are doing the same thing. And maybe you just touch on us what you think that thing is, and I bet you it's I know we're on the same page on it. But
so the thing with Facebook ads and paid traffic in general, up until the whole kind of fiasco with iOS and all that, we were very, very spoiled in our advertising, because the algorithm did, and it still does to a degree, but back then it did so much of the work for you. So you got away with letting Facebook do a lot of the heavy lifting. Obviously, you still had to have some sort of marketing skills, but you got away with, like, you didn't have to have the best offers, you didn't have to have the best creatives, your website may not have to been absolutely perfectly optimized. Basically, we got away with a lot of things, especially during COVID, where people were at home, people had money, they were sitting at home, and CPMs were really low, and people were just signing up around the clock. COVID was unbelievable. But now we've gone to a place where we don't have as much data. Facebook doesn't have as much data, but it's definitely actually getting better in that department. But just speaking in general terms, same with TikTok ads, same for a lot of different paid traffic channels. The data has been taken out of the equation. So we're going back to like just marketing pretty much, like back in the day, but like insert marketing or ads and flyers and stuff. And you really, really have to be sharp with your marketing if you want to get movement. And that comes down to offers, creatives, come up with marketing angles. Your website needs to be optimized to actually convert. You have to have a follow-up sequence. All of them pieces are really, really important to nail. So like back in the day, you could pretty much run Facebook ads and you may not have to have done any of that. You may have just had people signing up every single day because the algorithm was so powerful. It would be like, oh, he's interested in dogs. He was on a rival competitor's website. He had it in the cart 3 weeks ago. He's got a few other signals to basically say that he's likely to buy it. Let's put him at the top of the list and we'll show him the ad to basically get him to sign up. That's how good it was going. And I actually do think it will get back to that to some sort of degree. And I think even over the last few months, it's definitely getting better and better and better. But you can't be dependent on it. You can't be dependent on algorithms to basically grow your business. You have to develop your marketing skills. And if you develop your marketing skills, things like this aren't so terrible when things like this happen, because you know fundamentally how to get people signed up.
Yeah, that helps, like the background on that. Like I can appreciate that for sure. Like I think the trends, I think, is going back here is becoming a strong marketer and not just relying on the algorithm, but having like a crazy offer, would you say, I think is a key one. So I want to get into a lot of different things, but let maybe start there. What kind of offers are you seeing that are working right now? Is it still the same as it was a few months ago where it's like, crazy offer, like as long as it's a gift? So I think we're seeing less percentages off that are not working so well, and more having some crazy gift that people want.
Yeah. So for us, we've moved away completely from the discounts. And the reason why we moved away from the discounts was, even though we signed up a lot of people with discounts and we were doing really well with it, we're trying to get to like 20, 30, 40, 50,000 people signed up. And to get to that level, you have to have really low churn at scale, really, really low churn. If your churn isn't low, which it's very difficult to do that with discounts, you can have low churn, but to get really low churn, it's really difficult. You can't actually scale up, because at a certain point, the churn becomes more important than the acquisition, because you can only acquire so many people every month. And like, you can obviously keep innovating and keep coming up with ways and just bring through a mass amount of people all the time. But it makes such a big difference if your churn is low enough. So we've moved away from.
So just quickly, what would be a good churn rate? You always hear you want to be under 10 for sure %, but I mean, what would be a good churn rate for you guys at this point?
5% would be what we're kind of aiming to get to. 5%.
What was that? Sorry,
5% at scale. Now, like when you're getting started, right, and you're not really putting much money into marketing and stuff, it's actually easier to have a lower churn rate. And the reason why it's easier is because you're getting these people that are going out of their way to find you. They're really, really into what you're doing and they want to sign up to your box. Like if you had a cat or something, these are people at home searching for cat subscription boxes. Right. So you can kind of get a good idea of your churn with those people, but it can be kind of a false reality where those people will stay signed up no matter what. But the challenge then is to go out and duplicate them first 50 people into thousands and thousands of people with a really, really low churn rate. And if you're giving out discounts to acquire those customers, nothing wrong with discounts. You can have a profitable business. You can get up to thousands of people with it. But you will hit a point where it's really difficult to keep growing if the churn's too high. Like even if you've 10%, and 10% is a very good churn rate for a lot of subscription boxes. But even if you have 10%, right, at 10,000 people signed up, that's 1,000 people canceling every month. Then that's you crazy. Get to 11,000. Yeah. And like, you're like, well, I need to keep finding these people.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
Then you're at 20,000 and you have 2,000 people canceling every single month. Oh. So that is a lot of money, like 2,000 people multiplied by whatever your CPA is, say it's €20. It's a lot of money to be shelling out. You're not even growing.
So the reasoning then so from going the way you guys decided to go, instead of like, first box free or where you're giving away and having like a gift instead, like your camera or your dog bed, like I've seen on your stuff, it's just the quality of the customer you're acquiring. Is that the difference? It's maybe more expensive to acquire a customer, or maybe not, but they're staying longer because they're paying full price for the first box.
Yeah. So the people you're getting when you do that, they have to have the money in the bank account to sign up pretty much. So it makes a big, big difference. Whereas if you're giving discounts and you're giving boxes away for like £5 or $5 or something, those people only need to have 5 in the bank account. And then the month after, the payment bounces. When you're doing a free gift, the quality is much higher. But
that's not just in Canada. That doesn't just happen in Canada. That happens in the UK too. No, I'm kidding.
It happens but yeah, you pretty much you get higher quality customers, but typically it's more expensive to acquire them. So it requires more cash on the front end. And the problem is as well, right, when you move away from discounts, the amount of work involved in testing offers literally goes through the roof, because it's no longer a case of slapping up a banner on your website to say you're getting 50% off. You have to find a product, first of all, that people may be interested in. It takes a lot of research to do that. Then you have to contact the supplier. You probably won't have credit with the supplier because they're only a brand new company you're working with. You'll have to get the products. You'll have to create the graphics for your website, your email. You'll have to shoot all your ads, all of that stuff. And then obviously manage your stock and make sure that you have enough to basically keep people coming in. And the annoying thing about it is, right, your offer might flop. You might do all that work and basically nothing happens. No. And I've been there many, many times. Yeah. So like when people are kind of reaching out to me like, oh, my offer never worked. It's like, okay, your offer never worked. Go make another offer. That, like, literally no way around that. You have to keep testing offers. We're launching offers all the time, and the amount of work that's actually involved in setting up these offers is literally through the roof. We are getting better at it, and we are speeding things up, but it still takes time. And you also have the issue where offers may have different prices, so you may need to make different plans for the offers. All of that adds up to time, like recreating every single plan on your website, swapping it out, swapping it in.
The back end stuff is crazy, yeah.
Yeah, it takes a long time. And like we've launched offers that we were convinced were going to work, like literally convinced, such good offers. To my mind anyway, but they obviously weren't. Came out, and when you know, like literally within like a day, like you could leave it for 3 days, but within a day, you have a very good idea. You're spending money on it and you've sent people over to your website, and literally the sales have fallen off a cliff. But when you get a winning offer, completely different. Bang, everything blows up. Hundreds of people signing up. So it's worth it.
So quickly on that, because I know even sometimes it's just a copy of your offer, right? So like we're testing right now the cameras, you know, it says baby monitor. Maybe we'll put smart camera. Like we're going to be testing different things, right? To see what's, and again, all that takes work. But okay, so for people listening, like, okay, I've got a pretty good idea. I want to start testing. I got these 2-3 things as my gift for my niche that would work well. They're going to put out their offers. They're going to, you know, use their own Facebook acknowledger or whatever through a program. How long should you be testing that for? You mentioned, you know, you should know after a day or two, but let's say someone's just getting started and they haven't really had the algorithm start kind of working for them. I've heard in the past 7 days, let it run for 7 days and never actually shut them off. Even though if the offer might not work, you kind of let them running in the background and start a new one. Do you want to touch on a couple of things there? So 1, how long should you test your offer? And 2, is there a time to actually ever kill an offer? And the reason I'm trying to like word it where like, do you know what I mean? Like you don't want to kill it because then your algorithm has to restart again. If that makes any sense.
Yeah, I know what you mean. We had to send the offer to the offer graveyard last week. We did.
Oh no. Which one tanked? Not the rain suit again.
No, that's already in the graveyard. It was St. Patrick's Day. So we had a St. Patrick's Day hat, a dog toy hat for St. Patrick's Day. And we're like, I don't know about this. It looks really good on paper and stuff. I think at the start, it was like, it looked like it was going somewhere. And then it just ended up in the offer graveyard.
Rest in peace, St. Paddy's Day hat, yeah.
Offer, yeah. So if you have an email list that buy from you regularly and you launch a new offer, you can find out pretty quickly because you send out a sales email. If it flops after 2 days, it's not going to work pretty much. But if you're only new and you're launching an offer, you should test it for a while. Like if you do all the work to basically get it live, it may not be the offer. It may be the way you're positioning it on your website. So you should test different creatives, like you kind of touched on it there, like it could be like a baby camera for monitoring your baby and stuff. There's different angles that you can basically do for offers. So yeah, probably a week maximum. And if you can't get movement and you've spent a decent amount of money, go. Like the kind of things you want to be looking at, the click-through rate on your Facebook ads, are people actually going over? What's the conversion rate on your website? Is it under 2%? If it is, it's probably not going to be an offer that will get you anywhere. So they're all different kind of metrics that you need to be looking at.
What is a good click-through rate? So something that's kind of like, you're not, or what's a bad one that you're like, okay, the click-through rate is not at least this. Time to
over it. It's a bit funny on Facebook because sometimes it can be slightly under 1% and can still work out well, but just as kind of like a base answer, I'd say 1%.
Yeah. And also like the way the analytics get back to you is like, you got to look at it at kind of like a holistic approach, right? Like with that offer turned on, how many new members are coming in, right? Because it might not show, I find anyways, it's not the greatest anymore since all those changes, right? So you got to look at the holistic approach of like, okay, well, yeah, we're still getting, 150 members a month, or we're still getting, 20, whatever your number is, right? But when it wasn't on, we're getting 75 or whatever. Okay, what about audiences? So let's say you're not too sure if like, okay, if you're testing different creatives within your campaign and your ad sets, you got different ads within your ad sets. But maybe it's just the audience because you're testing one thing at a time. You don't want to be testing so many different things at a time, obviously. And you go through your module on that because obviously if you're doing that, you don't know what's working, what's not. So it's very time consuming. Could it just be, maybe, this offer is not a flop. I'm going to try another audience.
It can be. It definitely can be, but it depends on how certain you are about the audience. Like if you now look like audiences and say you've got like a dog subscription box and you're sending it out to women with dogs and they're not buying it, then it's probably not the audience.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Like it kind of depends on how accurate you can actually target people. If it's a case that there's a bit of doubt around the targeting, well, then it could be the audience, and you should probably try it with a few different audiences.
Okay, so let's keep going with audiences. Someone's like, okay, I'm sort of following here because but what's a good size of an audience? They pick an audience that's going to be, this one, you're in your interest, you put in whatever, women, dog lovers, and it comes up as 500,000 people, or maybe it comes up as 10 million people. What's a good size for people to start working with?
Minimum would be 250,000. If it's any lower than 250,000, you will have a high frequency, which means basically the same people are seeing the same ads over and over again. And you may get like a short-term kick out of it, but it's not something that will be running long-term for you. So 250,000. But if you've been running on Facebook for a while and you've got kind of like movement with it, the best thing you can do is go broad, test it broad. And that basically means don't put anything in, just pick the country. Don't pick the gender, don't pick the age, don't put any interests in at all, and just pick the country. Because even with all this data crap that's going on at the minute around iOS and stuff, it is getting better. And Facebook actually want you to try this because it's still quite powerful, the pixel. Even now, like it's getting better and better compared to how it was even a few months ago, and they will find the right people for you.
Crazy. Might take a bit longer, but yeah, once it nails in.
Yeah.
Okay. These are all good things. Is there a maximum then? Like the broad, what if you see it's like, holy cow, it's like, 250 million people or whatever. Is that too much? Or just let it do its thing?
No, do it. Literally leave Facebook to try and do the work for you. Obviously, if you're only getting up and running and you don't have a lot of activity on your account, Facebook may not be too great at doing that, but you should still test it anyway. But if you've got a purchase history on your account, try it and you could be pleasantly surprised.
Okay, cool. Good stuff. Now, going back to killing the ad. So let's say someone's offer is not working, or they think it's not working. They've tested it for about a week. They're like, okay, obviously this is not working. I've tried the broad. I've done these different things. Now you don't really want to kill the ad without another one running. Is that correct? And I'm trying to word this so that like people understand, because what happens is like, it might have to kind of like reset itself. Does that make sense? Or is that not true at all? Is that just kind of like, I've never seen that.
I know what you're getting at, but that's a lot of the time, that's what the Facebook reps will tell you, because I think they're conditioned to try to keep people spending as much money as they can. If something is definitely not working, in my opinion, just literally get rid of it and don't worry about that too much. Just set up a new one.
Okay. So I mean, I'm not going to get into like campaigns and ad sets and ads, but is there a maximum amount you want to kind of be rolling at the same time within one campaign? For example, how many ad sets and ads? Just
nothing really maximum that I could say, because my own campaigns at the minute are literally all over the place. So many different things at the same time. And like what Facebook would say is, oh no, consolidate everything into one campaign. And that's not always the case. Like they'll kind of push it that there be, if you don't put everything in the same campaign, you'll have something called audience overlap, where the campaigns are competing against each other. Now, in my opinion, and from my own experience, you shouldn't really pay much attention to that unless you're spending a lot of money every single day, and then the competition could drive things up. But if you've got a big audience, it's okay to have a few different campaigns running for different offers. We're running different offers at the minute, and we've different campaigns for the offer, all targeting the same audience. But say if we went up that we were spending like 10 grand a day, well, then it may be a problem, and we may need to put everything into the same campaign.
Gotcha. Okay. Before I do my next question, again, I just want to remind people to please, if you're not yet familiar with Locals, just go check it out. The subscription boxshow.locals.com. If you're listening to this, you're going to have a link in the show notes. And if you're watching this, there's going to be a link in the comments section or whatever how that works in the YouTube channel. And yeah, just head over to download that app. It's the easiest way too. You can just download the Locals app. It's just Locals. And you can just search for Eric Music or the Subscription Box Show. You'll find us there, and you'll see a bunch of exclusive content we do this afternoon. Actually, like at your time, right now you're in the afternoon. You should be having a happy hour. I'm drinking coffee and water. You should be having a pint right now. It's Friday. It's Friday afternoon. What are you doing, man? But I like to have my happy.
I have a happy hour later.
I always do the 3:00 on Fridays, 3 p.m. Central Time here, local in North America. We have a happy hour, something you can participate in as well, which is kind of just cool. You can kind of chat live with other people there. So yeah, it's a ton of fun. So come and join us on Locals. Yeah. And maybe by this time, I won't do another ad because we'll just leave it for now, but that's all I'm going to say for now. So my follow-up question now that I've lost it. So minimum spending amounts. So if someone's new and they're like, okay, clearly don't have $10,000. I'm just getting my feet wet with this kind of stuff. Or maybe you're listening, you're like, I am doing Facebook ads, but maybe I'm not putting the right amounts. What is a good amount to test stuff to see if it's working or not?
Minimum $20 to $25 per day per ad set, at a very minimum. And like the days of kind of running ad sets for $5 a day, they're probably finished, to be honest with you, because there's too much competition on the actual platform.
Okay. No, that's good to know. And then obviously there's no maximum. Whatever your marketing budget, the more the merrier. And you can always reverse it. People are like, well, I want to start getting, you ever do the reverse engineering? Oh, CAC. What's a good CAC right now? Like, what are you seeing as that? We know it's more, especially if you're putting together an offer like you're doing where you want to acquire a quality member, quality customer. Maybe we'll talk about what is a good customer acquisition cost, CAC. And then we can how can we reverse engineer that to know how many customers you want to get per month?
So for us, we're looking at, depending on the offer, like it's anything from like 20 to 35, pretty much depending on what we're actually running as the offer. But in regards to that, like sometimes, and I think this is really the big difference between the people who really like blow things up and get a lot of people signed up and people that may struggle for a long period of time. And I was completely the same, and it takes kind of a bit to shift your mindset. So the whole time we were like, how do we get things cheaper? We always want things cheaper, and like you're going to want things cheaper, like, but be like, how can we get lower CAC? How can we do this? How can we do that? And then the CAC would rise above a certain level, and we're like, oh, we can't pay for that. We have to keep like making things cheaper. That will actually only get you so far, because you get yourself in a position where there's certain media types you cannot advertise your business in then. And that's pretty much a problem. And if you have a business which can't afford to advertise anywhere, you don't really have a business whatsoever.
Yeah.
I'm not being bad, but you literally
it is what it is.
You can't grow, you can't do anything. So the right approach would be, how do I make my business be able to afford a higher CAC so we can go out on all these different marketing channels and actually get people signed up? So you want to have a good margin, high margin. You want to have low churn, high lifetime value, other products in the back end that you're selling to people when they come in. So suddenly you've gone from a position where you're looking for, if you're not getting a €10 CAC, everything's a disaster, to you're in a position where, oh, I can spend 30, 40 to sign one person up, and it isn't a problem. I know my metrics, I know we're going to be profitable. So I can go out on Facebook ads. Every time the algorithm changes, it's not really a problem. I can run on TikTok ads. I can test the YouTube ads. I can go out to different places of media and actually get people signed up. Because with or without the iOS changes, things get more expensive every single year. If you look at and there's reports about this online and stuff, and you can look it up, CPM costs on online advertising, it's going up and up and up and up every single year. So you will get yourself in a position where you're literally forced out of being able to advertise, and you don't want to be in that position. So you want to kind of just have a business that can support and paying for ads.
Yeah. So a good CAC. So you don't really have a number then. You don't want to put a number on it then, because it can depend on so many factors.
Yeah, it can depend on, for us, we're obviously what you said, 20 to 35 we're spending at the minute, depending on the offer. But it depends on the business, because you could be in a completely different niche and you could have a box that goes for, I don't know, $80, and you're making 50% margin on that. So you're making $40. Well, what would be a good CAC for that then? You could pay $80, you could pay $120 and probably still be profitable if the churn actually made sense. So it all depends on the business, really. But just from my own experience, you don't want to have that mindset where it's constantly looking for everything cheaper, because it will only get you so far. We don't control Facebook, we don't control TikTok, we don't control advertising rates, and they're just getting more and more expensive.
Yeah, but you can't control you can control your box and the product that goes in it, your business. And I think people have to wrap their minds around, especially if you're new, they want to often make money on the first box, and it doesn't happen. You're losing on the first box. It's all about lifetime value with subscriptions. It's right.
Yeah, that's the model. It's pretty much like, if you're making money, if you can make money on the first box by running paid advertising, fair play to you. But for the vast majority of people, that it's not possible. You can literally do the maths any way you want. But that's the benefits of this business model. That's why you want to be involved in this business model, because you have lifetime value. If you've got a low churn rate and you're keeping people for 10, 12, 14 months, and it's taken 3 months to get somebody into profit, and then all of the rest of the subscription is pure profit, well, then you have a very good business.
Yeah. I remember when I first heard that, it was Steve from Harbor. We got on a call when I just was launching my business, and he was like, yeah, sounds like you won't be making profit till, month 4 or 5 or 6, somewhere's in there. I was like, what? I was like, what are you talking about? I mean, cause you're just e-commerce mentality or whatever, right? It's like, I sell something, I make profit on it. Boom. That's it. But it's not, because it costs a lot more to acquire a customer. So you got to wrap your brain around, okay, it's going to cost me $50 to acquire a customer. I'm not going to make money on this, or it's going to cost me whatever plus your gift. Okay. So I'm losing another, whatever, $15 there. So it's costing me $65. My boxes are $50 or whatever. Right. And you can make the math on top of everything else. So yeah, not to mention operations and all that. So how do you guys, I guess, for forecasting, and I wanted to get into it because someone had asked this kind of indirectly about, let me bring it up here. It's not a question directly that we had asked. We're going to keep those for the post-show wrap up. But this one here was on forecasting. And I kind of asked her to elaborate. So I'm just going to bring the question up here again. And maybe you can touch on this one here. Shoot, where was it here? Oh, here it is. Okay. It comes from Kelsey Brown. So Kelsey Brown, thanks for listening. sorry, I've got to go back here or post. Eric, can you guide me to any of your episodes where you might be covering forecasting? And I'm like, okay, great question. Forecasting as an inventory. And she just elaborated saying, yes, and other subscription related business forecasts, for example, sales, profits, expenditures, and maybe something else that I'm not thinking of. So I guess just forecasting in general. Is there a tool maybe that you use, or is it just, people, sweat equity?
So for that, you want to have a business plan around forecasting. You want to have some form of an Excel sheet, with basically that can be updated in live time, where you can drop in different numbers and things will update to tell you how it's actually looking. And you can get like one of them made for you through, I don't know, somebody on Upwork or Fiverr, Excel kind of wizard. You can tell them what they're looking for. They can throw that together for you. But like in regards to forecasting for marketing and products and stuff, you want to kind of build up you don't want to leave anything to hope or chance. You want to know what your CPA is, and you want to know, if I put this much money into marketing, what am I going to get back in regards to customers? And it may not be exactly spot on, but it can give you a very, very good idea. And then you want to take a look at your churn, your historical churn, and basically see, all right, so we're losing whatever, 10% of people every month. Okay, so on the Excel sheet, it'd be like, whatever, we're starting off with 500 people signed up. Next month, we're going to spend this on marketing. This is how many people are going to sign up. It would be whatever, 600 people. 600 people for MRR would be, our average revenue per user is whatever, 25. It'd be 600 multiplied by 25. This is the revenue we're going to generate for the month. This is how many boxes are going to be going out. From that revenue, we're going to have to spend this on products. And then the next month, how much are you going to put in? And just repeat, but have a sheet that can pretty much update for you in live time.
Yeah, and I'm trying to find the notes. I had a tool. I was interviewing Carly from ShipBob, and I'm trying to watch. Oh, it's called Inventory Planner. It's an app on Shopify. Apparently, does a lot of stuff too, other than inventory. So, check that out. I'm not too sure what else if it's on other platforms, but it's called Inventory Planner. So yeah, kind of like in the realm, it just simplifies a lot of the stuff and forecast. It does forecasting as well. So thanks for that, Kelsey, and I hope that helps out, because forecasting, it's just, I agree. It's part of your business plan though. It's not easy. Inventory is never going to be easy, especially, but amongst other things, I mean, forecasting everything is tough. That's why you just got to kind of test. And going back to my point on the CAC and reverse engineering, you can kind of reverse engineer how much money you're putting in, how much customers are coming in, looking at your churn, and you can forecast kind of everything together. So we kind of so for example, if your customer acquisition cost was $50 and you wanted, 50 customers a month, well, quick math, what is that, Liam? Is that 2,500?
These are put me on the spot now. It's
2,500. Put aside $2,500, whatever. Like if you want 100, and yet your customer acquisition cost, well, that's 5,000 put aside, and you can reverse engineer and with your churn and everything else that what's your churn rate. And most apps now, most platforms will have like a built-in kind of analytics. Is there an analytics tool you guys use above the whatever comes with your Subly or your backend?
Yeah. There's a tool called Chart Mogul.
Yeah, you guys still use that one.
Highly recommend this tool. We definitely wouldn't be where we are without this tool. It goes above and beyond. The only problem with it is it gets very, very expensive. It's cheap to sign up to it when you're only getting going, but as you grow your business, how much you're paying for it grows with your business. And it's quite expensive, but it's actually worth it. 100%, it's worth it.
Okay. Chart Mogul. So check that out, you guys, if you're interested in that. Also, there's another one called Sublytics. I'm not sure if you heard of that one.
Yeah, that's good. Barometrics, Profitwell, and they're the other ones too. They all do the job. Yeah, they all work.
Yeah, they all do. It's just like an email, right? Like, what's your flavor? Is it Klaviyo, Active Campaign, Mailchimp? Like, they all do their thing. It's just whatever you're at that point, whatever you're comfortable with. I mean, a tool's going to do a tool. Bold subscriptions, Recharge, Subly, Cratejoy, like they all do something. I haven't been. It seems to me, I don't know if it's because of the people I've been having on or whatnot, but it seems Cratejoy is pretty quiet out there. Are you noticing the same thing? And this is not a knock on them at all. It just seems I'm very quiet. I don't know.
like we've never used Craigjoy before. I do think when you're getting up and running, like the Craigjoy marketplace is a really, really good resource because it helps you kind of like test your product and stuff and get your customers when you're probably still finding your feet with marketing. But I don't know. It seems like the Craigjoy platform maybe doesn't have a lot of the more advanced features that you get on Subway and maybe Recharge and stuff. I don't know. I think I've noticed that as well. Less and less people are on, and that's definitely not a knock on Craigjoy.
No, same thing. I don't know. I just, it's something I'm sort of noticing. Like less people are talking about it. Obviously, Shopify is a giant. Subway is huge. Yeah. So if you're listening, try them all out and go research them and what's the best fit for you. But yeah, I'm not too sure why I feel that way. I don't know if it's because, like you're, what's this, the social dilemma, like whatever I'm looking at doesn't come up because I'm not that interested in it myself or whatever. But it just doesn't.
Echo chamber. That's what they call it.
That's what they call it. It's not part of
the echo chamber.
Echo chamber. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I guess not. Cool. So you mentioned TikTok. You guys are obviously doing TikTok stuff now.
I love TikTok. TikTok is.
Are you the face of your brand on TikTok, Liam?
No, definitely not. I love the paid traffic on TikTok. I don't know much about the dances or anything like that people would be making or the videos, but our organic content on TikTok, it's actually pretty poor at the minute because it takes a lot of time to put together content for TikTok, especially when it's involving dogs. Because it's not like Facebook or Instagram where you can like repurpose content. There's specific format videos that pretty much need to be recorded for TikTok. So we're actually in the middle of hiring someone to take over our TikTok organic strategy to be coming up with new content and stuff to keep it fresh. But in regards to paid traffic on TikTok, yeah, I love paid traffic on TikTok. I think it's a really, really good platform.
Cool. Do you guys use influencers there to do stuff for you when it comes to boxes? Like people that already have an audience? Yeah. How's that turn out?
It's hard to track, to be honest with you. But we've sent out boxes to influencers on TikTok with big followings, and we have had a jump in sales of it, but I can't really pinpoint exactly what it was bringing in. We need to work on the influencers better, to be honest with you. We need to put together a process or something for influencers, because with us, it'll be a lot of, oh yeah, that'd be a cool person to get our box, and then we just send it out. We've no like literally real process for it.
Yeah, I know. And I always tell people you should plan, like, let's say, again, reverse engineer. Like if every influencer gets you 5 sales or whatever, then okay, cool. Well, do you want 50 sales from influencers times that? For, you can reverse engineer everything. But yeah, I'm similar. Like we kind of do the same thing. We send out boxes, but not. I don't think it's well planned enough. We should obviously, like, Christine, I'm looking at you. Would know the influencers more.
Takes time though. It's time consuming.
Oh, it is. Yeah, it is. And that's exactly it. Right now, it's just, we're such a small team, me and her, like that. It's better off that we just kind of like focus on, she does the email stuff, kind of like what Gary would do. And I do what you would do. So what's that, Christine? Which she's working on right now. Yeah, of course you are. So yeah, that's a job I would not want, by the way. That email stuff is something else. Christine loves it. But yeah, okay. So TikTok. So what kind of, is there a percentage? Like, let's say, 50% of your sales are coming from Facebook ads, 50% are coming from TikTok. Is it that trackable? And I know they've gained really good traction on their algorithm, and it's probably going to force Facebook ads to lower the price at some point. I'm thinking that's my prediction.
It probably will, because they're quite aggressive to get people spending on the platform. Now, the majority of our subscribers still comes from Facebook, to be honest with you. That's where the majority of our spend goes. TikTok, we're testing it all the time, and we are getting good movement with it. And I think it's going to be a really, really good platform. They've completely copied Facebook, all the terminology. So if you're familiar with Facebook ads and you jump on TikTok, it's going to be pretty straightforward for you.
Sweet.
The problem with TikTok ads at the moment are the tracking is actually really bad compared to Facebook. Really, really bad.
Well, Facebook's not great tracking right now, so it's even worse than what Facebook is now.
Yeah, it's worse than Facebook. So you can spend a certain amount on it, but when you're getting up to spending thousands a day, you basically need to have better tracking. So our TikTok rep onto them all the time, that is going to be improved very, very soon. That's going to be fixed. They have
No doubt,
some
yeah.
new version of the Pixel coming out that'll fix that.
So is it similar when you're sending in that TikTok? You're gonna have to have like a pixel installed on your website, similar to what you do with Facebook? Same thing?
Exact same, literally the exact same. Setting up your events, ad sets, they're called ad groups on TikTok, CBO campaigns, ABO campaigns.
No kidding.
Everything.
How do they get away with that? That's crazy. Facebook.
They've like, I don't know, they're taking it really, really seriously anyway. And like even in the last year, it's just getting better and better and better and more powerful. There's over people on the platform.
Yeah, it's huge. And I think it's going to drive advertising costs down. I'm hoping. I heard, I keep saying this to every guest, but you read these articles where it's like, everyone thought like it was just gonna be e-commerce subscription boxes going up forever. Or sorry, e-commerce, like online shopping just going up forever, which it is. It's always going to go up and more people doing it. But I think there's also people wanting to get back into retail and going back face to face now to things. And I think it's going to drive the cost of advertising down. Paid ads. I think the title, the whatever the blog I read was like, paid ads have reached their peak. And I was like, I hope so. I really hope you're right, because in fact, but to your point later on, everything's going to go up every year, but it might not be. Yeah, I guess everything's always going to go up in price, but maybe like that spike where we keep spending from like able to get a customer for $10, $15 to 50, you won't see that kind of jump again. I don't think, or I hope not.
Hopefully, really, really hope so myself. TikTok, the CPMs are way cheaper on TikTok compared to Facebook because they have 1 billion people on the platform, but there isn't as many advertisers at all. So it's quite less expensive. And a lot of people think they're like, my ideal customer isn't on TikTok. I don't know about that because there's over 1 billion people on the platform now.
They're there.
Older and older demographics are using it all the time. Like I don't have it here, but I have like a chart with the breakdown of the people on the platform, the ages, and it would really surprise you.
Yeah, there's quite a few. It's not just millennials dancing on YouTube or on TikTok anymore, right? Like you have literally every niche will be represented there now. I think that's fair to say.
Yeah, definitely.
It's worth testing. Okay, so TikTok is still a part, but not a huge part. And I know the reason I was asking is because I know like BattleBox, John Roman was saying like how much money they're putting into TikTok is nuts now. Like they've kind of like cracked it and figured it out. So I was like,
paid traffic on TikTok, are they?
Yeah, paid and organic. They do both.
Yeah, fair. I think seeing something with them on LinkedIn. I think like they're doing like a case study, I think, if I remember correctly, and it looks like they're absolutely killing it on TikTok.
Yeah.
So fair play to them. Really good to see.
Yeah, he's like, I was so obsessed with figuring it out that I almost like I could have lost my if this wouldn't have worked out this year, basically like I should be fired, because he's like, I've spent so much money. I've spent so much money, like waste. It would have been such a waste looking at your numbers. It would have been like, okay, you've wasted like, whatever. It was astronomical amount of money on TikTok.
Well, look at it. It was worth it for him now, because now he has a channel that can deliver customers, obviously at scale. And here's something to prove the point, right? What kind of demographic would they be going after?
Males. It would be, if I had to guess, like, males representing, that like the outdoors. They like to adventure, that kind of stuff, right? Whether it's like survival stuff, probably army type of guys, Republicans. So I would say
it's not just teenagers dancing on the platform.
100%. No. Yeah.
So there you go.
Yeah, there you go. Cool. What about YouTube? Are you guys very active on YouTube? Because that's very expensive as well.
Never cracked it. Literally never cracked YouTube advertising. Wasn't something we really got involved in. I've heard mixed reports about YouTube. Someday we'll try it and we'll dedicate enough time and energy to trying to make it. But,
it's expensive. It's expensive. Like we looked into it and it was just like to do an unboxing on there is like to have someone with any kind of like views or it's easy to see, right? They get these many views. It's like not like fake followers, because you just go by the views, and Anyone with any kind of clout is super expensive. So we're just like, forget it. Like, so we might send some boxes to influencers for them to do on YouTube, but how much we'll see, I don't know. I'm more focused on, again, the proven Facebook ads is still king, isn't it?
It is. Unfortunately, it still is.
Everybody hates it, but it's still king. Yeah, it works. I often get asked, and I'm still sort of confused by this, like Facebook owns WhatsApp. They own Instagram, obviously. Like, and you see now, like WhatsApp pop up, like you can click for them to do. Why would you want to advertise on WhatsApp? I never got that, because in my messages and stuff, like I use WhatsApp, but do you click that? Do you use that? What is that like?
Well, we use it like for communicating and stuff, but
but
I've never tested the placement on WhatsApp. We set up a WhatsApp business account, and as far as I know, some of our customers come through there for support. We actually set that up a few months ago.
Right, for that.
To do with it, I think it was Gary who set that up. But as far as I'm aware, we've people coming through for support. But I don't really know how it would work for advertising on WhatsApp.
Yeah, because you see it there though, right? Like you can, when you're setting up, I think it's in the ad section, right? Or maybe it's Anyways, I just thought that weird. I don't know if you had any insight on that.
And they own the Oculus, the VR headsets. Have you tried one of them?
No. Are they good?
Crazy. So good. Actually, is really, really good.
What's it called? Sorry?
The Oculus.
Oculus? Okay. I'll have to see if my nephew has that one. My sister had some kind of VR setup. She was showing me a video of her, like my nephew's. I'll ask her if it's the Oculus or Oculus, whatever. If that's the one.
Tell you what we should do. If you can get your hands on one, the next time we do one of these shows, we'll do it in the metaverse. We'll do the first podcast in the metaverse.
Oh, that's crazy.
You can record it, and it will just be like we'd be sitting in the meeting room and chatting away. It really actually is crazy. Like I kind of found that hard to believe, and I got one around Christmas time, put it on my head. I was like, what? This is literally unbelievable.
That's crazy.
I do boxing on it, in the house. I say I look very funny doing it now, to be honest with you, but some workout, unbelievable workout doing it. Yeah, it's like it feels like you've gone 10 rounds with Mike Tyson when you take it off.
Except your face is still pretty. You don't get
yeah.
But do you get like something like, does it like vibrate or something when you get hit? How does that feel like?
No, it makes a sound and stuff, but you're just literally sweating like when you're doing it. Really, really, really good workout. And there's other things on it too.
The Irish way or the is that how you box?
Say the headset on, I look like some mental patient. There's other what else is on it? The big picture. There's like virtual cinemas and stuff on it. Unbelievable. If you can try it. It's worth it, pretty much. I found that hard to believe. But I say, the point I was trying to touch on, I say it will get to the stage where you can buy ad placements in the Oculus.
Yeah, I could see that. They put in so much money into this metaverse thing. They're going to make sure it's there too. So like you'll be in the middle of a fight and maybe in your ring, I don't know how it looks like. You can advertise there. Louis and Leia.
or dog toys will pop up or something.
Right. Yeah. What the heck was that? Getting hit over the head literally with the sales. A dog toy. Yeah, cool. I don't know. I have to try it, but that's freaky stuff. Like, can you like buy games or something? Like, let's say I want to do like Jurassic Park and I can walk through like Jurassic Park or something cool. Yeah.
Yeah. You can go on roller coasters. You can play Resident Evil. It's hard to believe, really, like until you put it onto your head. I never really thought it would be anything like they discussed. I was like watching the Mark Zuckerberg videos and stuff, and I was like, oh, I actually wanted to try one of those. I'm going to pick one of them up to see like what the big deal is, because eventually I think you'll get to this stage where a lot of people are using it. Completely blown away by it.
Interesting. Well, I'll have to keep an eye on that. It's kind of scary. It scares me for some reason a little bit. I don't know why. It's creepy. It's a little bit weird.
Me and my business partner, we played mini golf on it. He has one, and it was like he was inside my head talking to me when we were on it. We were out on like a golf course, just walking around playing it, and it was like, this is so weird. It sounds like you're literally in my head.
Did you ever see? And I apologize if you're listening. We probably lost everyone here by this point. Have you ever seen the movie? What's it called? It's about this guy. He has like, it's kind of set in the future. They basically live in their homes and they live through the planet's gone to shit, and they have this like headset on and they kind of live vicariously. Sorry?
The Lawnmower Man, is it?
No, it's not the Lawnmower Man. It's like Ready, Set, Go or something like that. Or it's gonna bug me.
Oh, I haven't seen it.
I want to say it's Ready, Set. Let me just see here. Ready, Set, Go movie. Is that what it is?
I have to check it out.
Images. Yeah. Oh, Ready Player One.
Oh, I heard of that. Yeah, I heard of that.
Ready Player One. It came out maybe, I don't know. Does it say here? 2018. Oh, already. But yeah, very similar. I was like, wow, you could totally see that's where the future is going to be, like but it's like sad because people just like live, their lives are determined by like their online presence there. And it's just weird. And then they take it off and like, it's just, they live in like slums. It looks like, in like Indian slums or whatever, like how they live on top of each other. It's like, what is this? Like, but yeah, it's crazy because that's kind of like what it would seem to become. Like you're a rock star in the metaverse, but then well, obviously you're not moving enough. So you're going to be a very soft and round real life person or whatever. In the real world. Yeah. Cool. Well, you know what? I think let's wrap up this part of the show. Thanks everybody for watching it and listening. And make sure again to head over to busterbox.com to go see Liam's stuff. You don't ship out to North America yet, do you?
Yes, not
yet. I have to get you in touch with our friends at ShipBob that we just on there. They make it easy for you now. But anyways, so go check out Liam there. Where can you find you on Facebook? I know you had an amazing Facebook group as well for people.
Yeah, so my blog is liammichaelbrennan.com. You find loads of different articles and helpful stuff about growing your subscription box for free on that. And then the Facebook group is Subscription Box Resources. If you search for it on Facebook, it will come up.
Yeah, it's very engaged. It's got a lot of amazing people in there. So yeah, go check that out. And you're active on there as well. And then, of course, we're going to go to the post-show wrap-up here for your questions and some cool stuff we're going to do here. So if you want to have access to that, it's exclusive only to the supporters on Locals. So head over to Locals by downloading the app or the subscription box show.locals.com. Liam, thanks for doing this, man. I really appreciate you as always.